I believe in education. I believe in lifelong learning. That's the challenge. I believe in lifelong learning. So the key to your success is not whether you're strong, whether you're intelligent. It's for those that are most responsive to change, as Charles Darwin said. Okay? See, we are not on the precipice of disaster. We are on the cusp of change, and with change comes with it need. With need comes with it opportunity, and an opportunity to serve. As an entrepreneurs, we have a great responsibility to serve society. There's only two things I believe that's ever changed our society, and one is Mother Nature, and that one we can't control. The other is entrepreneurs. Look around you. Everything here is because of entrepreneurs. The entrepreneurial spirit, the innovative, creative thought process that comes about. You are the key, the saviors of our economy. It's not Washington, D.C. As much as they want to believe they have that power, they have the power to destroy us if we're not careful. But by and large, it's each and every one of you with your entrepreneurial spirit, your creative, innovative thinking that's going to take you to another level. And the challenge is that if we don't understand that we need to be in a constant state of recreation, not recreation, recreation, we fall behind. We rest on our laurels, we do business as usual, and we continue on a path that's not sustainable. This is the very fundamental life cycle of a business. But we'll start a business at the birth stage, and then we have the battle, the build-up, and the backslide. And many of you have probably seen this S-curve, this sigmoid curve. The interesting thing is that what we're dealing with today is that the life cycle, the time span, used to be about a decade. And in today's economy, in today's environment, it can be as short as 6 months. And so if we're not in a constant state of recreation, we have a challenge. Those businesses that are going to be successful are going to be able to do this repeatedly. Here's the challenge with most of them, is that we wait till we're here before we start thinking about recreation. See, Alan didn't mention, I've studied the martial arts for almost 4 decades now. And that was one of the reasons I went to Japan. Actually, it was the primary reason I went to Japan, was to train. And I've had the opportunity to work with law enforcement and military with some of the things that I've trained. One of the businesses I own happens to be a martial arts studio. And one of the most dangerous times in a battle is when? Anyone know? When you think you won. Yeah. One of the most dangerous times in a business is when you think you made it. See, we mistake this as maturity in a business, but it's a plateau, and if we walk too far over the plateau, we go over the edge. The time to recreate ourselves is here, not here. As we're in the midst of growth, we need to be already thinking about the next stage, the next step. Because what we really need to do is do this repeatedly throughout time. Think about it. Anyone remember, and I know I'm dating myself here, but anyone remember a company by the name of Polaroid? Okay, Polaroid was kind of a name. They took their company name, but it became a usable name, just like Kleenex and Xerox. But where are they today? Because they didn't see it coming, or they chose to ignore it. Let's look at this for a moment in real life. Let's just take, I am an Apple. How many have Apple products? All right, good. The rest of you, it's okay. Dinosaurs once roamed the earth. Once you go Mac, you never go back. And let's just take a look at Apple for a period of time. Steve Jobs in the 1990s, he was fired. He comes back in the 1990s. He says to them, we're going to scrap all our products, and we're going to focus on one. We're going to come back to our core. And he releases the iMac. Then he releases the iPod. Now, mind you, at the time that they released the iPod, what wasn't created yet? iPhone or the iTunes Store. Okay? And that really ends up being the key to their success. The iPod Shuffle then gets released, and then he releases the iPhone and the iPad. they innovatively, creatively changed the dynamics. And when they released things, when he came out to release the iPhone, he didn't sit back and say, hey, we're going to release a phone. He said what? We will revolutionize the mobile industry. He thought big. He thought dramatic. He gave a vision to people that people would emotionally get behind. Well, let's just, for a curiosity, in this same time frame, what happened to Apple's stock price? From $40 a share to $540 a share. Because they were in a constant state of recreation. Anyone know where Apple's stock price is today? Just north of $400 a share. It lost 30% of its value. 30% of its value. Why is that? What was that?
They haven't come up with a new product.
No, exactly. They have not been innovating. Now, some will say it's because Steve Jobs passed away. Okay? But the problem is they've confused innovation with improvements. Innovation isn't saying, hey, you can get a pink iPod now. It's meaningless. They truly haven't innovated, and until they innovate, we're going to watch their stock price decline, their performance decline, their growth decline. They're not going anywhere. I mean, they're a successful company, and they'll get it together. But the reason that they had this growth was because they were in a constant state of recreation. See, the idea behind entrepreneurship, the idea behind innovation, the idea behind this is not about looking to your right and left and behind you and figuring out what your competitors are doing or what you've done in the past, but to go to zero-based thinking, to turn around and say, if I were to recreate my business from the ground up today, knowing what I know, how would I do it differently? And taking the time to intentionally design. In the workshops, when I go into the workshops, we literally intentionally design the business from the ground up. We create the business model from the ground up, specific to what it is they're trying to deal with, and try to build it at that level. The idea is really to look at what's the unsatisfied, unmet, or new needs that we can serve.